Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. After that Mystics game, I've heard so many knee-jerk reactions about who should be bringing the ball up the floor, who should be facilitating the offense. I have my opinions after going through the game yet again, deep diving, pulling out some plays. I have some plays for you to show of who I think should actually be running this offense, who I think should have the ball in their hands, who should bring it up the floor, and I think we're just going to dive into the play. And first off, we're going to start with everyone's favorite kind of scapegoat in this game, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Cindy Colson had a really bad game. I think in my previous video I said that I gave her a C. Nah, I mean, on offense she was probably a D, maybe a C minus at best. Definitely not a solid C. And on defense she was an F. She was a gaping wound in our defensive struggle. But we're just going to focus on offense and her facilitation of the game. So let's just jump into the first clip here. This one's going to be painful because we have a fast break, but we are going to end up in a situation where Cindy Colson has the ball. She's driving down, has Natasha Howard. Defense is picking up. And so let's snap it here. We got Aaliyah Boston is trailing on this play. We have multiple players calling out. Cindy Colson's coming up here as Natasha Howard is going to set a screen. So she could drive around. Lexi Hull actually has a beautiful cut to the basket right here. Could go over the top, could curve around, get a past Kiki. I mean, right now Sykes is not looking at Hull, so we have a lot of potential options here. They're like either one of all these above. We could just wait for Aaliyah Boston to get down, run an offensive set. But this is what we decide to do. Cindy Colson decides to instead drive into the heart of their defense and gives up the ball, stripped, and just like that, this is sad Colson. We're in transition defense, and this is happening too much in this game, actually. Just poor decision making from Colson. Now, this one's a frustrating one because we've run this offensive play to success already in this game, and it's very simple. So, Kusevich is going to come down. She's going to screen. Cindy's going to get blown up, and then we're going to have Colson's going to wheel around. She's going to get the ball from Aaliyah Boston, and so there it is. And now from this point, like, again, we have options. We can drive, we can dish out, we can try to find Aaliyah Boston when she rolls after this. There's like a lot of things we can do. We generally don't want to like stop on the block, but of course we're gonna stop. And when she stops, she's looking out this way, so she's not gonna hit this pass. And so now we're kind of stuck. We have a bad pivot foot here, and she's basically looking for this back door to Lexi Hull. The problem is like this is just congested, and she's hesitating, and she's stuck, and she's panicking. This is going to throw a ball. Suggs going to get a great hand on it, and we're in transition defense yet again. This one's in this scenario I hate point guards that pick up the ball at half court, and here we are, and we just pick it up in no man's land. There's no one nearby. Everybody pretty much here is covered. No one's in action, and pretty much what we're going to get is we're going to get Dewana Bonner, which she's going to fake up and she's going to do a beautiful back cut, but we're not going to hit that. Instead, we're going to see a poor pass to Aaliyah Boston that's going to go right to Shakira Austin, and she kind of panics, misses the pass, and there we go. Dewana Bonner, you can see her right there. Her hands were up. She's like, what are we doing? Why am I not getting rewarded for my open cut to the basket to try to save you? Now, Kelsey Mitchell in this had a very tough shooting night and had a bunch of old habits kind of creep up, and we'll dive into them. And a lot of things to just make me not want to have her necessarily have the ball in her hands always. Now, she did find some good moments, but ultimately just the bad habits of tunnel vision struck again. So let's dive into it. Now, this is a Kelsey Mitchell special. It happened last year. It'll happen again this year, where she gets the ball, she puts her head down, she drives. Doesn't matter if there's a good kick out, anything. She's going to the rack. And in this game, she got rejected by Sykes a lot. So we get the rebound. Kelsey Mitchell gets in transition, drives, gets rejected. Now, the problem with this, though, is that if we jump back here, as she's driving in, there are a lot of better options here. You can drive in, you can kick out to Hull, great 3-point shooter. We can give it back out to here, but instead we're going to drive into a triple team. I mean, Dolson has lead on you, and Sykes has just been good all game, and we're just going to get rejected. While we literally have a wide open Lexi Hull for a three. Another Kelsey Mitchell transition play off of a great Aaliyah Boston block. Another heads down. We're going to drive it to the hole, hell or high water. And look at this. Look at this. It's like, yes, you drove by people, but there are 4 players here. They have no reason to be anywhere else. Dewana Bonner's calling for the ball. Sophie Cunningham's ready for a three. Sydney Colson isn't an option, but I appreciate that she's open. Like what are we doing? What are we doing now? Should have got the foul there probably. Also, meanwhile, Aaliyah Boston's getting clocked in the head by Shakira Austin. Never seen her do anything like that before. Crazy, but still, like what are we out here doing? A professional Fever basketball team. Now, if you're a decision maker, time and situation is important. Here we are, 10 seconds left to go. We need to get a shot, and Kelsey Mitchell has already decided she's taking the shot no matter what. Everybody's clearing out. She's getting ready for the shot. And this is the shot we take. We take a contested shot, a hard shot, off balance, moving away. And what happens? Absolute airball directly in the Mystics' hand. And then what happens off of that? What bad possible things could happen with 6 seconds left? Oh, yeah, that's right. Transition defense. Look at Kiki. Look at Kiki and Olsen. They got like miles ahead of our team. They're just wide open. And to her credit, Sykes throws an amazing pass all the way to Kiki, and Kiki just whiffs it. But otherwise, we should have been down another 2 points. And now I know a lot of you, I've even seen people down in the comments of my last video being like, Sophie Cunningham should be bringing the ball up the court. And I'm going to tell you, Sophie Cunningham is not a good ball handler. I've discovered from watching this tape, she dribbles really high. And whenever she gets near half court, she like stops or makes like a one-handed pass, and the anxiety in my heart flutters. And if you don't believe me, let's just watch some of these plays during this game. So if we're being honest, and you're Stephanie White, what do? You're like, okay, I can't trust Mitchell. I can't trust Sydney Colson. Go for Cunningham. Yeah, let's put in Cunningham. Let's see how she does. Let's see her bring it up the floor. And it's just suspect from the beginning. She goes over. Melbourne moves her over. Beats the screen, moves her over. She's not using Leah Boston right now. Gets faced up, gets the ball knocked away, and she's going to get the offensive foul. And that's a turnover. You can't have that as a point guard. And here's another example where she gets it up the floor, but every time she gets near the half court, she's like stopping. I don't know what it is about Sophie Cunningham getting across the but she comes up here, Sun gets in front of her, and then just picks up the ball and passes it right there. Like why are we picking up the ball that far up the court? I don't like it. I don't want it. She did that multiple times during this game, and Melbourne was the only one that really fully punished her. But man, this again is actually a good play, but it does show off kind of a successful version of the play that we were talking about earlier. Sophie brings the ball up again. She just dribbles the ball really high. She's like, her ball handling skills are not that great. Is she gonna pass again right after crossing the half court right there? A one-handed pass. I don't like it, but whatever. And then here we're going to set up Dewana Bonner going to come around. She's going to cut. She's going to get the ball. And then what's really great here is she's going to drive in, threaten right here. So Sonia right now is just, she's trying to replant and get a hand up. And Dewana Bonner is just going to jab step her, get her up on her feet, up on her toes. And then she's going to take an easy shot. Easy jumper. Love to see it from her. Now, many of you might also be calling for Hall, and I think that Hall can bring the ball up the court, but I think she's better off the action. I think that she's better sitting in the corner, hitting those threes, or coming off of a screen and making something happen. I don't necessarily think that she needs to initiate the offense, but you want to know who was really good in this game initiating the offense, who saw the floor, made difficult passes, and has the height and length to do it. It's Dewana Bonner. She got her groove back, and she really played a great game, showing versatility and being able to take the ball to the hole, feed the post, and just read defenses for great passes. And so let's dive into it. Now, if this doesn't convince you, I don't know what will, because here Kelsey Mitchell has the ball. You see that Aaliyah Boston is setting up against Shakira Austin to get a screen, and Kelsey Mitchell is going to kick it out to Dewana Bonner. Now, Dewana Bonner, she already sees this, which is great. So she's looking and she sees in here, she's like, oh, AB has outside leverage. If we swing the ball around, we can feed into her. Simple, easy. So what does she do? She passes out to Kelsey Mitchell, and look, she's already pointing at this play because she knows that they can get it into her. Now, what happens is since Shakira Austin was so out of the play, she overcompensates, and she's just gonna fall over Aaliyah Boston here, and Aaliyah Boston's gonna be wide open as Kelsey Mitchell just tosses it in there. Easy 2 points. Love to see it. And DeWanna Bonner saw that. She passed around in order to get that look. That's what you want. This one is just good court vision. DeWanna Bonner is going to get the ball. She's going to see right here that Sophie Cunningham is just wide open, waving for it. You have Kelsey Mitchell in the corner, but Sophie Cunningham is going to cut in towards the basket, and DeWanna Bonner is just going to find her. Beautiful pass right here over the defense. Only she can get it. Gets the foul. Almost gets the finish. Would have been beautiful if she did, but love to see that kind of passing ability again from someone that I trust to facilitate the offense. Now we're going to see DeWanna Bonner do a pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston. Going to pitch it over to her, get the pitch. There's the pick. Going to hezzy, and then boom, straight to the basket, wide open. Again, just a veteran play. She shows that she might shoot, she might pass on the pick and roll, and then she just makes a move, boom, to the basket. In this case, you don't want to see DeWanna Bonner just drive it every time. So she's going to come down and give it to Sophie. She's going to get it back. Dantas is going to get a nice seal down here. Ball is already in the air over the defender. Dantas gets it, and now Dantas gets to go to work. Beautiful touch off the glass. Again, quick decision making, no hesitation. Sees the play. Love to see it. All right, now we're going to see DeWanna Bonner go to work. We're going to have some good ball movement along the outside. Dantas is going to pick it up. We're going to give it to DeWanna Bonner right here. And now, this is just a nice little play that the Fever like to run, where they kind of set this high screen, and then either Kelsey Mitchell a lot of times will be here in the 3-point, and she can shoot the 3. So you're going to see DeWanna Bonner is going to pump fake. That's going to raise the hands of the defender right here. And then she can also now start to go to work, go and drive. And the nice part about DeWanna Bonner is I trust her. This is measured. She keeps her dribble, fakes in, fakes out, just works them completely over and goes in there and gets the bucket. And really, it should be obvious, but if you can get the ball in Aaliyah Boston's hands, just get the ball in Aaliyah Boston's hands. Aaliyah, show us how it's done. Aaliyah Boston is great, and we just need to get the ball more in Aaliyah Boston's hands. Because right here, you're going to see the Kelsey is going to just kind of play around the ball. She's going to drive, kick out to Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston is going to see Shakira Austin, to take her straight to the hole. All day, every day. If we see Shakira Austin as the defender, we should just be abusing her because she is the weak link. She gave up so many points in this game, especially in the second half. So now we're going to get to see Aaliyah Boston going to work again here. We're going to give it into Aaliyah Boston, back to Colson. We're going to send it to the corner, back out to Boston. And this is beautiful because what we're going to see is we're going to see Kelsey Mitchell cut across, clear out this defense. And then Colson's going to catch the defender laxing, and Aaliyah Boston's going to find this pass. She's going to pass like we got Caitlin Clark in the game, but we don't. It's Aaliyah Boston. And there it is. Look at that pass. Look at that beautiful bounce pass over to Lexi Hall for 3. And like that ball movement is what we should see in our offense every single time. And you don't get to that rotation across the defense unless you have someone that can see it and make passes that quickly, like Aaliyah Boston. So to wrap it up, like here's my real take. I think that Sydney Colson can bring the ball up, but she shouldn't be getting tons of minutes. She shouldn't be facilitating our offensive sets. I think that she should, if we want a really good ball handler to break a press, I think she's our person. I think Sophie's okay in the half court. I don't want her bringing the ball up. I think she's suspect. Kelsey Mitchell, she has a lot of potential, but again, that last game, unless I see something better, she tends to get tunnel vision, and you don't want that from someone that you want to see the defense and get the ball to the best person to make a play. And so for that reason, I actually think that DeWanna Bonner, I don't know that she necessarily has to bring it up, but she should be one of our main players that is running the offense, running the 2-man game. She can pass to multiple lanes due to her height. She can drive. She can shoot a 3. She can threaten a lot of things. She has the moves to unsettle defenses. I like to see her. And obviously Aaliyah Boston, high IQ, great passer. If we can feed her and get her hands on the ball, doesn't matter if it's down low, doesn't matter if it's out high, just let her work. She can make baskets happen. She can make plays happen. I want to see her with the ball more. And with all that said, I hope that as we see into this next game, I hope that there are some adjustments on the Fever's end. And I also hope that these players have better games, because for Kelsey Mitchell, terrible, rough shooting night. Sophie Cunningham really couldn't get anything going either. And Sydney Colson had probably one of her worst games in a very, very long time. And I think that if we can keep the confidence in Dewana Bonner and Aaliyah Boston and run plays off of them, and really use Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull and Kelsey Mitchell at what they're best at, which is, getting them in action so that they can have an open shot, getting them screened so that they get to take open shots that are difficult shots, then we're going to see this offense hum. Because the ball, there were great ball movement moments, there were great feeding post moments, but it wasn't consistent. And part of that starts with who is facilitating the offense. So with all that said, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And as always, remember, you're going to be amazing today because you are amazing. And I'll catch you next episode.